Hi, I'm your host Tandai, and welcome to Soundtracks, the podcast where we share the personal connections we have with music and how those connections influence our experiences, our memories, and our emotions. Thank you again for joining me for this listener submission episode. And today I am joined still by Jackson. And yeah, so I'm just going to read out the submission and we can talk about it. All right. The song is by Johnny Rain. It's called 17. And I think the title, I think, is of the same name. So the story or the submission, very short, goes: I discovered the song at a time when I was 17, and I was really and I really coincided with all the words that he spoke. Being young and in love, suffered from several heartbreaks that drastically affected my self-esteem. There's a part of the song. There's a part where the song transcends and he reiterates being on top of the world, and that really reminded me of how much I still have to conquer. A great time. That was that. And I think I picked this one specifically, I think, for this episode with you, is just the whole how music is able to like talk to people at different times and different places. And I also related to it from like a personal place where you'd be in a relationship with someone and that really does, it's not great, and it impacts the way you see yourself and it makes you question who you are. And I had one of those when I was like 17, I think, about the same age, 17. And I was really like wondering, am I this person? I think I was going through a very difficult time at the time. I was battling with depression, anxiety, was a whole thing. And I was just getting out of that. And maybe it wasn't the greatest time to get into a relationship, but I did. And the person made me feel crazy. The person made me feel gaslit as fuck. And so that wasn't a great place to be, but I'm here now, so that's where we're at.
It's so weird because I feel like my worst, like, we weren't in a relationship, but like situation, I guess, experience was also when I was 17.
Oh, 17, great.
What's wrong with being 17?
Great age, apparently.
I was listening to the song and I was like, isn't it interesting how people are always talking about like being 17, and I'm like, oh, I wish I was 17 again. And I was like, you know what, honestly, now that I'm far enough away from 17 to look back, I'm like, honestly, kind of. But I'm like, kind of same. Like, I think 17 is such an interesting time where you're just off of having to deal with being an adult, that you're old enough that you can like kind of appreciate life a bit. Romantically, maybe not.
Maybe you should not.
But yeah, romantically, no. No.
No.
But life-wise,
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed that time of life, but just not
the relationship, like
the romance
I think I had really great friends and everything, because I was in boarding school at the time. I lived with all my friends. It was great. But like romantically, maybe we shouldn't have.
Absolutely not. I would erase that part of it because it was really not good. But yeah, no, it is oh my god, it is a beautiful song.
It
reminds to me it felt like a mix of like Khalid and Frank Ocean.
It did, yes. Yeah.
Which I think, yeah, it was really beautiful.
Yeah.
And I was like reading the lyrics of the song and I was like, oh, this is actually really cute, because I think it's like, maybe I'm remembering wrong, but it's like, is it a love story?
It sounds like a love song.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's very like kind of sweet and innocent kind of feel. And I think he's talking about how maybe life is not going so great. If I'm remembering correctly, he's talking about how maybe life isn't the best, but because he has this person, it feels like it's better.
It's better, yeah.
Just to refresh myself. We'll wait for that to load. But I think that's what it's about, which is really, yes, here we go. Yeah. So yeah, that is what it's about. So it's all about like, this broken heaven is all I got. Rent's due. I'm like, vibes. But yeah, and then he's talking about like, yeah, this person that he's with and how, even though life is going not so great,
at least you have someone to hold on to.
Which I know. Is really sweet.
There's always like, obviously you're young and you're 17 or like even younger, like you feel like that relationship you're in is it. Like you are, I think, with all the emotions that are heightened by where you are in your life. You just feel like this is the love that I have and I must hold on to it, which is what I felt at that age, which was pretty stupid because what? But having such big emotions, and I think having music is one of those things that can help you process through those really big emotions, especially when you can't like articulate it yourself. Just being able to like hear a song and being like, actually, that's what I want to say, but I'm not able to have those words.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it had me thinking about when I was 17, which is like two-pronged. It was great, but also it was like really
such
difficult.
a weird time.
It's very difficult.
Of life. But yeah, I was thinking recently about how odd it is that you just like, obviously it's like an obvious thing, but you can't go back.
You can't.
Like you're always going to be moving forward. I feel like there's almost this like slight belief that you can, but you can't. Like you can't go back to certain times in your life. So it's like I will never be at that point in my life again, which is really, really strange.
But it also like, I don't know, again, similar to this time. You can never have back this time again in your life. So cherishing this time.
Yes.
But if you were to go back at like the age in your life that you really loved, what would it be?
I think it would be when I was in like this is the thing, because I'll talk to my friends about this and they'll be like, that was the worst point in my life. And I'm like, no. I think when I was like was it when I was 16? When I started year 12. So I think I was like 16 turning 17. I think I would go back because I felt like first year of sixth form is really, there's not as much pressure. I think you can say there is I think once you get over the initial like shock of having to move into that period of life, I think I would go with 17. I think I had so much fun when I was 17. I had great friends. I was with my friends all the time, which I think you take advantage of a lot.
True.
Which like you leave school and you see your friends like even once a week is like nothing compared to you used to see your friends every single day. So I think that I really loved. I loved that I felt like I was doing a lot, because obviously like being in school you are doing a lot and you're also doing like extracurricular stuff, but like I think now I can sometimes feel like I'm not doing enough. And when you're in school it's like you're kind of being made to do
all those things. Yeah,
It's
the
like
sports,
you don't feel like you're not doing enough because you're literally doing everything. So I think that was kind of good for me because I felt like I was doing a lot. I was still meeting a lot of new people because like I was meeting other year groups, or I was doing like stuff outside of school that was like meeting people. So I think I would personally go back to the age because I think it was a very innocent, even though it was like kind of not, it was still quite an innocent, like you didn't know what was to come. That was going to be a lot to deal with. But yeah, that's where I would go back to. What about you? Where would you go back to?
I would say 18. 18, or reason why is like, 18 I was in like matric, which is like grade 12, the 12th grade, or 8, I don't know what you call it on the side. So basically last year of high school.
Right.
And I just think that I had the best time. I think it used to be one of those people who put lots of pressure on themselves academically, and I felt like for matric, like I was still like super serious, but like I was just like chill. Like I was so chill because I think I came back from like when I was 17, I wasn't doing really like well mentally, which because of my school and how much pressure I put on myself. And then I kind of let that go in matric and just kind of just did a thing, partying a lot. And I would go out with my friends on a Saturday. And one day I particularly remember, as me and my friend Paula and my other friend Jamie, we went clubbing on a Friday, drunk as hell, right? Come back home, great, fine. And then we decided, I think we were still drunk, we decided to go to the beach the next day,
Right.
hungover, with no water, no umbrellas. We just like vibes. Like we just went to the beach, just us hungover and vibes. And then we sitting there and we're like, it's actually really hot. Like whose idea was this? And then we end up having to like to pay money for like an umbrella and stuff. But like, we're like, why are we here? But like that was terrible decision making, but it was still really like innocent and youthful. And I was around my friends. And yeah, it was great. It was really good memories for me. But yeah, I think 18. I think I was much more calm. I think I used to be a lot more uptight than I am. If my sisters are listening to this, or my partner, I said more, not I'm no longer uptight. I think I just started to relax more and become looser,
Yeah.
which is I think I'd mark 18 as that age for me.
Fair. I also think it would be very interesting to go back to like lockdown time,
Okay.
just to be like, because I don't think, even if we did have another, God forbid, another situation like that, we would not treat it the same. Because I think there was a good month, maybe, where it was like, it just felt like we don't have to go back to work or school or whatever it was. And you could just like sit and chill and do whatever you wanted. Me and my family were like binge watching shows and films. And it was like, it felt very like you got to take a break from
Everything else.
No one expected you to do anything. So I think it would be very interesting to go back to, I was 20 when that happened. So I think that would be
To see how
very
you would like
interesting.
redo it.
Yeah. Because like, yeah, I don't think I'll ever have that,
That-
again.
that
where it's
amount of time.
The lack of guilt, I think.
Just to
'Cause
not
I
do
think
anything.
As a creative, you can feel a lot of guilt when you're not doing anything because there's always something you can do. You can always make out something to do. It could be like, I could make a video right now. I could write a song right now. I could like do any of these things. So you can almost feel that guilt when you're just not doing anything. And I think it's so important to just not do
Not
anything
do anything
sometimes
and just kind of
and not
chill.
have to feel the guilt of like not doing anything. And I think I had that when I was in that period where I was like, I feel no guilt at all not doing anything right now. I can do whatever I feel like doing. I don't have to go and like see anyone. I don't have to go outside, which on one hand is like we can go anywhere, but also it was like I don't have to go anywhere. Like it fed the introvert in me a little bit.
Like, oh, thing, I can't see people anymore.
Yes.
But what would you do anything different?
I don't think I would. I think I spent a lot of time with my family. I was still like putting in the work when it came to music. I was putting like during COVID, I was putting out 2 YouTube videos every week. I was still writing a lot. I was getting ready for my EP during that time. So I don't think I would. I think a lot of, obviously it was a terrible time, but I think a lot of people did benefit. I know people who were like, I was in the best shape of my life at that time. Like, people were having good period. Obviously, there was a lot of bad stuff going on as well, but like, yeah, I don't think weirdly enough, it's like the one time in my life that I think I would look back and be like, I wouldn't do anything different.
It's the same.
Which is quite nice. I think a lot of other times in my life I'd be like, I would change
I
this and
should've.
this and this and this, but I don't think I would change anything then.
COVID, what are we doing? Because I was here during that lockdown period. So it's the reverse for me, as in like I came to this country with like my favorite body that I had, and then COVID came and then I lost my favorite body that I ever had. But one thing I can give COVID is like one of those things that like when you hear or see people like saying, oh, they got divorced during COVID, they can't stand each other during COVID. That was for me a part of like my relationship with my partner. We're like, we actually like each other, hey? Which is great. Like, I actually like you, and I can spend like all of my time
Good
with
to
you.
know.
And it's like, oh, thank God. Because like when you are doing the 9 to 5, you only see each other at the end of the day and then in the weekends. Like, you know how much time that is. COVID was you sitting in the house, the 2 of you, the whole day. Do you like this person or nah?
Yeah.
And that for me was like, yeah, I like him. He's cool.
Yeah. It's like the first time, they say the first time you go on holiday with the friends, it's like that's the telltale of like
How was the
are
friendship?
you actually good friends? And when I went on my first holiday with my friends, it was like, this is good.
Yeah.
It's like, we're safe.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't hate you guys. This is wonderful. Obviously, there were a couple moments where it was like
as it does with
But-
people having people around all the time, it can just
Yes.
like get, but you know,
but no, we were good to go.
it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, what other age? I think that's it. I don't think I wanna, because too much going back for me is like I still have to come back here, and the journey to here wasn't the funnest.
Oy.
So I just stay here.
Yeah, because I'm like, after I left school, I would say no, I don't really want to go back to that. Not for any reason. It was just like, I wasn't in a job that I enjoyed a lot. Like, I wasn't doing loads in music. So I'm like, I wouldn't really go back to that point. Yeah, I just think, and before 17, I was still like kind of awkward and uncomfortable, and like 17 I'd kind of moved into like myself a bit more, which is nice. And I think like now I'm obviously more myself than I have ever been, which is nice. And I think that's hopefully for everyone, you're constantly moving into yourself more and more. So I'm sure fingers crossed, but I believe that my best years are to come in the future. Like people are always like, oh, school is like the best years of your life. And honestly, right now I'm like, maybe you're not wrong currently. Like I've had good moments, but like as a constant, I think more just because I love my friends, and so I love being with my friends all the time. But I do think that the best years are coming soon, hopefully.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm turning 30 in 3 years. And I think my 30, I was telling someone yesterday, I am convinced, and it's going to be the best years. Prepare to be sick of me.
That's what they say. They say the 30s are your best years.
Prepare to be sick of me.
Because you've made your foundations. So you can just...
No, okay. And I will text you when I'm there and be like, I was right. And I'm having
Please do.
The best time.
Yes.
So, yeah.
God, I can't even imagine. That feels so far away and I can't deal with it. I turned 24 last week.
Oh,
and I was like, this is weird.
It doesn't feel weird.
I'm like, because I'm officially mid-20s. I'm not early 20s anymore. Mid-20s.
I'm my late 20s.
So I'm just like, whoa, this is new. And I'm the last person in my friendship group to turn the next age every time.
I see.
So usually I feel like I'm already the age that everyone else
because
has turned.
Everyone is that age. Yeah.
But this time I turned 24 and I was like, I just don't feel it yet. And I still don't. Not that it's like 23 and 24 is that big of a difference, but I don't feel it that time, weirdly enough. And I think I'm in the denial phase, and I'm just going to carry on saying I'm 23 until some point. And then 25 is next year and we don't have to think about that.
Yeah. 25 is an age that is
very specific.
Difficult. Like, I don't know what happens to like, men when they get to, like women. 25 is you get knocked on your ass by 25. You get like it. You sit there and you're like, but I was able to do this the other. Why can't I do it anymore? And your body's just like, because you can't.
It's not nice. But they say, isn't 25 when your frontal lobe is like, I don't know what the word is, but it's like fully formed when you turn 25.
Well, there's a price to that.
Hey.
There's a high price.
Your brain is fully formed and your
but
body
the body's like, okay, they're going the different directions.
It's like you reach a peak and then it's like...
It's not great. It's
that's why you gotta take your vitamins.
Oh, and I'm so bad at that. I keep saying I'll get better, but I have not. And I buy all kinds of shit to make sure that I do, like the little pill compartments. It's empty right now. When did I last feel it? Maybe a month ago. So it's not going great.
I'm actually really good at it. I'm not even gonna lie.
I want a patch.
When it runs out, I'm so bad at going to get more. And so I've been a few days now where I've been without iron and vitamin C. And I need to go and pick those up.
Yeah,
we're really just going through our shopping list right now.
I need to do it. I need to get maybe like a patch. I was thinking like maybe a patch. I don't know how to think about it.
A vitamin patch?
A multivitamin. I don't know.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, like slow release patches.
I didn't know that.
Because just it keeps me from like not
having
to remember.
I'm not gonna lie, vitamins have done nothing for me.
Do you think
I don't feel any different?
No, but when I don't take mine, I know that I haven't taken mine.
I don't.
You will soon.
I'm like, am I missing something?
Oh no!
I'm like, is there one vitamin that I'm not taking that would change everything? Because right now I feel the same.
I need to take my vitamins. I'm really bad at it, guys. It's really, and I keep saying, I think this is the second time on this podcast I've said I need to take my vitamins, and I really need to do it. Anyway. On that note,
17.
Take your vitamins.
Yes, on that note. Oh my gosh.
And yes, thank you to the person who submitted their story. I really appreciate it, and I hope you feel like we handled it with care, because that's 100% my intention. And if you'd like to submit your own stories, please hit the link in the bio. You could also just find me on Instagram and write on Instagram if that's more easy for you. And it's at Soundtracks Podcast on Instagram. Again, like, subscribe, share, comment, all the things to make sure that I know that you're there and we're doing a great job in building this community. And to my guest, Jackson, thank you so much for sitting with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, cool. Bye, guys.